welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be prepping for Shabbat, some yummy recipes, so stick around. Okay, so we're going to start off with our butternut soup. This is me trying to hack through the butternut. Little kitchen hack, use your rolling pin to push down on your knife. So just excuse how unevenly it's cut, but nevertheless it gets the job done. Take out the seeds, and I'm going to prepare that in a baking dish with some olive oil, salt and pepper. We're going to put that in 180 degrees Celsius oven for, I would say, around an hour. You want the insides to be super soft, and that's going to make it much easier to go into our soup. Now we're going to start with the base to our soup is 1 full onion. Again, all the measurements, all the ingredients will be in the description below, so check it out. Okay, we're going to get our inside ready. You see how easy it is to take the flesh out of the butternut. So we're going to add our fried onions and garlic, you know, our classic for any dish, and then add in all of that roasted butternut. Such a good flavor. That roasting gives it more flavor. We're going to cover everything with some boiling water, and then I'm also going to add my sweet potato and 1 regular potato. That'll take away some of the sweetness. It'll also add to the creaminess of the soup. Okay, we're going to cover all of that, make sure it's all covered with water, and we're going to let that boil at least an hour. If you can give it more, that's great. We want all the flavors to really get cooked together. So there I'm adding some salt and pepper, giving it a good mix around, and we're going to let that go, like I said, for at least an hour. Look guys, this is about an hour or two later. I'm taking my immersion blender. I'm going to take my time to make sure all those veggies are blended nicely. I want a smooth soup. If you really want to go smooth, you can even put this through a strainer afterwards, but we won't go that far. Okay, I'm just going to make sure it's nice and smooth and that all the chunks are dissolved. Okay, and there we go guys, as easy as that. And of course you're going to want to taste it. I'm adding a little bit more salt. Make sure the taste is to your liking. And that's as easy as it is. You have your delicious orange butternut soup, whatever you want to call it. Really good for these winter months, guys. Highly recommend it. Okay, next we're going to move on to our meat stuffed peppers. So of course I got the nice big fresh colorful looking peppers at the shop. I'm going to take out all the insides and the membranes and get it nice and clean. Okay, so we're just preparing our vegetables. Also, when you're in the supermarket, look for the peppers. They're going to, you know, stand up nicely on their own if you can find. Okay, just getting the last one ready. We're going to keep the tops as lids. It's going to look super cute at the end, which you'll soon see. And now we're going to move on to the filling. Of course, we're going to fry up our onions, and we're going to add to that our garlic. Surprise, surprise. Okay, make sure this cooks together nicely. Give it a few minutes. Like I always say, it's worth the wait. This is such a good base to any dish that you're making. Well, almost any dish that you're making. I'm going to go in now with 500 grams of minced meat. You can use beef, chicken, turkey, whatever the heck you want. It all works well. I'm going to season with salt and pepper and cumin. I'm really loving cumin these days, so I'm going to put a generous amount and really use any seasoning you like. Mix that all up. That's going to start cooking. To that we're going to add 1 small container of tomato puree for that lovely rich tomato flavor. And you're going to go in with a vegetable of your choice. I'm using peas, frozen peas. I'd say about 2 handfuls, 2 cups of peas, and put the frozen peas in last. That way they stay green. Yeah, and you can add your rice to this mixture, but I like to, you know, serve the rice separately, but really do whatever you like. I'm going to fill these peppers. Some people like to boil the peppers before in some water just to make them soft. I find that this isn't a necessary step because they're going to get soft anyway, and I don't want the peppers to be overly soft that they fall apart. Okay, so you see we're ready to go here in the oven. We're going to cover it with their cute little lids. It's going to look beautiful, and we're going to put that in about 180 degrees Celsius oven, I'd say for 30 minutes. The inside's cooked already, so we really just want to get a nice browning, and look at that. 30 minutes later, out of the oven and ready to serve. I love this meal. It's easy, it's delicious. Okay, next we're moving on to our chicken pie, moving swiftly along. Now you can use chicken breast. This will make your life a lot easier. But this is what I had in the freezer, 1 kilogram of chicken thighs. So I'm going to prepare that in a dish with some chicken spice, some Robertson's chicken spice from South Africa that I love, okay, and a bit of salt. And I'm going to put that in the oven for about 40-45 minutes, 180 degrees Celsius. Now comes the hard work. I'm going to use my clean hands to take off all of the meat from the bones. Again, if you have chicken breast, that's going to save you the time. You'll just shred it. But, you know, it's okay. I got it all done. Here we go a few minutes later with our 1 kilo of the shredded chicken, and it's going to be so worth it, I promise you. Okay, again, surprise, surprise, more onions, more garlic, fry that down. Okay, this is going to be the base for our vegetables that we're going to add to the chicken pie. Again, let that cook together, and I'm going to go classic British here with some carrots and more frozen peas. Really, you can get more creative than me. This is just what was available at the supermarket this week. I don't know if the winter's bringing on this dull vegetable choice season. But anyway, I'm going to let that saute for about 10 minutes. Let the carrots get nice and soft. They can also soften in the oven, so don't stress too much about that. I'm adding my 1 kilogram of chicken into the vegetable mixture. I'm also going to add a cornstarch solution, equal parts water and cornstarch. That's going to thicken up our mixture. You want your chicken vegetable dish to be kind of thick, so that's what our cornstarch is going to do. Let that cook for another few minutes, and then we're ready to go. We're putting our delicious mixture into the bottom of a large baking dish. Okay, and then we're going to go on with our puff pastry. You can make your own dough. I personally don't have the time, so I get puff pastry in the frozen section at any supermarket. Poke some holes, make a cute little decoration on the outside. The holes are so that the mixture at the bottom can breathe, or the steam can come out rather. I poked a few more holes in it just in case, and there it is, guys. Also about half an hour later from the oven, just so that delicious puff pastry browns up. And look at that golden deliciousness. This is going to feed a lot of people. Moving swiftly along to our brown rice. I made this in a previous video. Very simple. We're going to fry the rice for about 2 minutes, not too much. Again, you don't want the rice to burn. We're going to add whatever seasoning you want. I put a bit of chicken soup seasoning, chicken soup powder. I'm going to mix that around, like I said, 2 minutes, and then you're going to want to add your water. So I've got here a cup of rice. I'm going to add 2 and a little bit cups of water. Make sure it's well covered. Now, brown rice we just prefer, but that's going to take longer, about 40 minutes. And there you have it, 40 minutes later. Delicious, soft, fluffy rice ready to go. This is so easy, guys. Of course, you can use white rice as well, whatever your preference. Now, the last dish for today, my family likes to call crack potatoes. I hope I don't get into trouble for using that word. Why crack potatoes? Because we just can't get enough of it. No matter how many potatoes I use, this always gets gobbled up by the whole family. It's delicious. Once you start eating them, you can't stop. So I'm dicing the potatoes into cubes. Try and make them all the same size so it cooks evenly. Some olive oil, salt, pepper, garlic powder, and paprika. Give that a good mix around. You're going to want to make sure all the potatoes are coated in this delicious seasoning. Okay, spread it all out evenly in your roasting pan. And then I'm going to season it with the same seasoning for the second time, just to make sure we've got a lot there, a lot of good taste. Nearly an hour in the oven on 170, 180 Celsius. And look at that crispy deliciousness. So that's it. We're ready for Shabbat. That's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Try these at home. Let me know down below if you enjoyed. Let me know what you're making and if you tried any of these recipes. Thanks for watching, and Shabbat Shalom.